Yeah, no, so you knew that turn up this morning, and generally that was the reason as to why we went. Just it felt right in my tummy that Joff was going to do something this morning to break the game open. Yeah, your gut feel doesn't always work, but those 2 wickets he got this morning, obviously swung the game massively in our favour. Don't know, bowl 45 overs in a test match and win. That's probably the best comparison I can do. Yeah, pretty cooked. Obviously, big day today, but I thought the game was on the line, and yeah, there's not many things that can get you. Sorry, bowling to win the Test match for your country on day 5. However you wake up in the morning, that if that doesn't get you going, or get you up for going out there and putting in for your team, then I don't know what will. Yeah, every time I look round at the bench and ask for a drink, I just see Bash's little head peeking through there, like ready to go. We were obviously told by the match officials that he could stay off the field when he wasn't bowling, but if he was bowling, he had to stay out there. And look, we obviously threw a lot at their batting lineup today with Seam. So yeah, just breaking that sort of flow of the game up with spin every now and again was obviously something I was going to go to, and yeah, starting off the session with Joff and spin was briefly spoken about. We all thought it was a good option, and yeah, it was great that Bash was able to get that last wicket with what he had to deal with this week.
Sky Sports, digital, go ahead, no problem.
No, I think in big series like this, there's always going to be a time and a moment where the two teams are going to clash. But I'm all for it. I don't think it really stepped over the line. But I think at the end of it, if you think about it, there's 22 people out there playing for their country. It's the highest honour that you can do in in our given sport. So you can understand that sometimes the emotions and the tension can get quite high, but I don't think there's anyone in the Indian dressing room or anyone in the English dressing room that's going to bed, going to cry themselves to sleep over what was said or done out there. Where sometimes it gets a little bit over-egged, I think, from an outsider's point of view. I don't think it overstepped the line from the Indian team or from our team, but yeah, there was always going to be a moment in a series like this when it was going to implode. It wasn't really boiling up to it; just sort of happened. But look, it adds to the spectacle of England v India, doesn't it? I just said to him this morning, I said, you know what today is, don't you? And it was that, funny, that highlight package from, I think, when India knocked off like 300 odd back in the day when Ganguly, he thought that was a World Cup final as well. He thought that was 6 years today. Genuine. And I was like, no, that World Cup that we won. He was like, oh, that one. He's an absolute beauty, that boy. But just had that feeling, and yeah, those 2 wickets today, that Rishabh Pant one was obviously massive in a low sort of, 4th innings run chase. So he wanted me to come to mid-on and Kasi to go to leg slip so he could talk to me. But I didn't trust Kasi at leg slip, to be honest. No, honestly, that whole thing was he wanted me to come to mid-on so we could chat about what he's trying to do. Yeah, I don't think so. I think sometimes it just brings out another side of a team. Obviously, when you're watching your 2 opening batters go out there for an over and you're seeing 11 guys all come at you, 2 of your opposition, I think that's going to bring out another side. And yeah, as I said before, like it just sort of brought out a bit of tension from both teams. I mean, it's great to watch. But yeah, when we came in last night after taking that last wicket, that long room was absolutely raucous. Generally think it was louder when we walked back in after that Ashes incident, but that was more cheers and excitement last night as opposed to the boos coming out when the Australia game was here.
And how bad is that coming out in the game?
Yeah, it's not good news for Bash. Very disappointing for us as a team and for him. Yeah, big shame, but I think the courage that he showed to go out there and bat at the end for us and willing to sit there on the bench waiting for his moment to come on and bowl. I think just proves how much it means to everyone who gets the opportunity to put the shirt on, that not even a couple of breaks is going to stop anyone getting out there.
Chris, Adam, and then two on this side here, please.
Winning on day 5 by 22 runs like we did is probably one of the most subdued celebrations I've ever been on for an England win. Just didn't have a lot to give, to be honest, there with the celebrations. So it's a weird one. I mean, obviously it's a great game, it's a close game. You would think I should be saying yes, but it's just quite hard to quite get my head around it at the moment, if that makes sense. Just because I've obviously put a lot in over the last 2 days. So when you're physically and emotionally tired, it's hard to properly feel it. I reckon in 2 days' time I'll be pretty pumped. Just pretty knackered at the moment, to be honest, but obviously very happy that we've managed to get the win. Oh yeah, I'll be absolutely sound for Manchester. It's a big break. Obviously was pretty tired after Headingley, but yeah, after we walked off the field there, sort of whole new level of tiredness hit. Look, and it's obviously different when you're I've been in games like that before, not as a captain, where I've been given the ball to run in and try and bowl the team to victory. But then now, obviously, adding on to the decision making around bowling changes, field placings, how I feel we're going to get this win. Obviously there's the physical element of bowling in the 4th innings, but then shouldn't be underestimated how the emotional and mental tiredness does also get you as well. I don't think it's like confidence as anything to worry about with Bash. He's very confident with his inabilities. He's very confident, comfortable within this team. But look, I think what an amazing feeling for him to be able to take that wicket there. And obviously with his hand in the state that it's in, amazing. Very proud of the way that he went about the rest of the week after having to come off the field. I think there would be a lot of people who might not necessarily have been brave enough to go out there and face Bumrah, and then also put himself up for wanting to get out there and bowl and help his team. You're trying to say I've got a little man on my shoulder? No, I think, look, obviously yesterday it came down but there was more cricket to be played. Today there wasn't. Game was on the line, and that obviously is completely different element and aspect to what it was last night. Obviously put a big shift in yesterday, today was it was going to be my decision when I stopped bowling. As soon as I felt like I was not the person to break this game open or take the wicket, that's when I decided, right, enough's enough. Change the bowlers up, because look, although I felt threatening for most of the day, when batters are in, they feel more comfortable against whoever it is. So obviously changing who you bring on and giving a batter a sort of new bowler to line up to think about facing. That was sort of the decision today. But I was trying to bowl and win a game for my team. He should do, definitely. That's his 9th, is it, or 800? 8. Yeah, he seems to be doing the first man to do this a lot for England at the moment. It's amazing to be in a dressing room with greatness. We've known each other since we were like 12, 13 years old, so to be still playing for England together is pretty amazing. He's still the same old Joe Root that he was back in the day. And look, I think the way in which this whole game played out, scoring freely was very, very tough. It wasn't a wicket that you felt like you could actually get huge value for your shots. So it was about biding your time and just taking almost your runs as they came, if that makes sense. And obviously Ruti's the best batter in the world in all conditions, in my opinion. He read the situation very, very well, as did, I thought, Ollie Pope as well. It was very clear that it wasn't going to be one of those wickets where you could play those big drives on the up or get out of the ball because of how slow it was. And obviously when the ball went a little bit softer, it became even harder. But yeah, then when it came to batting in the third innings, it was a completely different game with that new ball. Like, yeah, it was interesting test match to be a part of as a batter with the amount of changes that the wicket sort of threw at you. But yeah, and even again that third innings, you know, we honestly felt that 190 runs was going to be very, very tough to chase down because of how that wicket had changed, the invariable bounce, some keeping low, some going through the top. So yeah, we were actually very confident that we had a good score, but we knew we would have to bowl well.
Yes, that's a shot.
क्रिकेट की हर बड़ी खबर,
Lovely shot.
हर बड़े अपडेट और लाइव डिस्कशन के लिए जुड़िए मेरे साथ सिर्फ इंडिया टीवी क्रिकेट यूट्यूब चैनल पर।